Hello YouTubers, Brad C. Here we're doing a review on the flashcards that I bought. These are the Moadim Ancient Hebrew flashcards, and I got all three sets. But the main one that I was interested in was the Ancient Paleo Hebrew, because the sign of the Tav, or the last letter in the Hebrew alphabet. If you're not familiar with it, you may be familiar with the Greek, the Alpha and the Mega. It's the Aleph and the Tav in the Hebrew, and the Tav has a very familiar symbol. And remember, this is the Ancient Paleo Hebrew symbol. So this is the kind of thing that you'd find on caves, or this is the very first of the Hebrew alphabet that you would find, the pictograph, the drawings. So let's take a look at what I'm talking about, because this is what is so fascinating to me, is that the Tav, and here we see the Tav, and as we go back, an earlier version of the Tav, and the pictograph. Well, wait a minute. Are you kidding me? Tav, mark, sign, signal, monument. Well, wait a minute. Let's make sure on that. Okay, we're going to make sure, because we're going to go back to the Ancient Paleo Hebrew cards. And this is the deck that I really wanted, but I got all of them. I'm sorry, I just had to have them all. But let's take a look. And I'm not going to go through all of them, of course. This is copyrighted material. I'm not looking to cause any problems here, but this is the Aleph. We'll just skip down to the Tav. Should be the last one. It's the last one in the alphabet. What do you know? The Tav. No exaggeration, folks. I mean, you can look it up. Just Google it, Ancient Paleo Hebrew, and look for the sign of the Tav. And it's absolutely fascinating to me. It's the Christian cross. I mean, it's I don't want to say comical, but I mean, how does a Jewish rabbi explain this? That this Tav, and keep in mind, this another word for this is mark. And if you look in a story, I believe it's Ezekiel 9. There's a story in the Bible where there's a mark put on every person's head, and this is a dream. But in this dream, there was a mark, and that mark was the mark of Tav. So a Tav was put on the forehead of certain people in this village, and those people were to be saved. They weren't to be slain. Everybody else was going to be killed, except for the people that have the mark of Tav on them. And what do you know? This pictograph mark, they all have a mark of a cross, and that saves them. I mean, that is absolutely amazing, and you share this to a Jewish rabbi, they will blush, trying to tell you that this is just a coincidence, and and they'll do the same thing when you point out Psalms 22. I mean, Psalms 22 is an exact, detailed explanation of what would happen on the cross. You've probably heard the my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" spoken by Jesus. And as a kid, I'd always ask, why does he say that? That sounds almost like defeating. And people would say, well, it was because the Father had to turn his back on him and punish him for the sins of mankind. And I got that, but I'm thinking, still, why would he call that out? But in reality, what he was doing was he was saying, look, let me quote Scripture for you. This has all been done before. And when the Jews quoted Scripture, they were very talented at memorizing the Scriptures. And they would just quote the first verse, and then everybody else would know the rest of the chapter. So Psalms 22, look it up, 1,000 years before Jesus is even on the earth. And first verse of it is, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" And then look at the rest of the verses. Every single verse goes through detail after detail, proving that it was all been planned before. Basically, Jesus was saying checkmate to the devil and anyone around that was listening, and he was saying it's over. And then his very next words were, "It is finished," and that was it. So it's just a powerful thing, this mark of the Tav. But anyways, I just want to show you these cards, and I tell you what, they're really good quality cards. I'm very happy with them. Trust me, I'm not doing this I'm not endorsed by Moadim. It's just the truth is the truth, and they can skate around it all they want, but I mean, the mark of the Tav is the symbol of the cross. Yeah, I just want to say a little bit more about this Tav. It's so beautiful. I really have been waiting so long to get these cards, and just wondering if the Tav, if they would really put the mark of the cross on their cards, because I'd looked at some other reviews and I saw some other cards, but this would never come up. Of course, nobody other than a Christian is going to want to promote this card here too much, but it's just beautiful. I'm so glad they were at least honest to the real Ancient Paleo Hebrew. Some of the things that this word actually stands for, means mark, and you can think of a cross too. It's a mark, it's a sign, it's a signal, it's a monument. I mean, that's beautiful. I mean, that's exactly what I think of when I think of a cross. I think it's interesting too that when Cain, well, there was a mark put on Cain, and everybody wonders, what was that mark? Well, now the mark in Ezekiel that is going to save the people from being killed, I can confirm for that. That it's well documented. That is actually translated Tav, not mark, but Tav. So the Tav was put on the forehead to save the people in that video. Or, I'm sorry, in that story. But also there was a mark put on Cain. Now, we're not sure, but I'm pretty sure it makes sense, okay, that mark would have again saved Cain. A lot of people think, well, that mark was something that was going to hurt Cain. No. What Cain said was, look, in my position, everybody's going to try to kill me. So what did God do? He has mercy on Cain. And he puts a mark on him that anybody that sees this would know not to kill Cain, because that person's curse would be even worse than Cain's. So he puts a mark on him. And so it's just interesting to me that the Tav is used as a mark of salvation. And again, I don't want to push the idea that this mark put on Cain was the Tav. Not sure on that. You do your own research. But there is a mark in Ezekiel 9 that is clearly the Tav. And anybody out there that's a Jewish rabbi, I would love to hear you squirm. No, I'm kidding. I would really like to hear you straight face tell me that the mark of Tav is not the symbol of a cross, and that if you haven't seen it yet, I've got a video called Symbolisms of the Cross in the Old Testament, and one of the most powerful things in there is this mark of Tav that I stumbled onto. But there's so many other things. I couldn't name them all. Okay, folks, as always, check me out on BradCTV.com.